Brennan Carr, you out here getting dunked on by Ted Cruz. And yes, I've seen what it looks like when he play basketball. That's particularly ugly. And in fact, that's the kind of content you can't even approve through your FCC. That's how disgusting it is when he play basketball, but he dunked on you though. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters and I'm trouble. Maga, this you?
I am a wrestling coach in Iowa, mother of 4. I voted conservative. The craziest thing has happened to me a few weeks ago, and I really feel the need to share it from the position of a very pissed off conservative Christian woman. I almost died because I was denied medical care here in Iowa after being diagnosed with a fatal fetus. So my baby was not going to make it. There was no chance of it. We got multiple opinions. No chance. Shortly after that, my health started to rapidly decline, and I was not able to seek care in a timely manner or nearly at all. I was told to miscarry at home or wait it out or ask Google what to do. When I asked where could I go for a resolution to my problem. So I had a fetus in me that's poisoning me from the inside out. I have 3 healthy, lovely children at home, a business to run, a husband, and I'm not allowed to choose me? Where's the pro-life in that? Pro-life? Like, choose me. Choose the mother. We're completely forgetting the mother in this situation. At no point should a dying fetus have more precedence in a healthcare system over a healthy mother who's contributing positively to society. Like, my God, please help us. This is not what we voted for, you guys. This is not it. Doctors should not be afraid to do their job. And that is the case here in Iowa. It's not that they don't want to help us. It's that they are afraid to do their job and save our lives. Politics and religion have no place in healthcare. They have no place on my body, on my health.
Well, you know what? What I heard is if you sleep with a Maga hat, that boosts your immune system. That boosts your, and then now in these winter months, which I know be cold in Iowa, if you put that Trump flag over you, you protect it from illness and disease. That's what I heard. Now, in the event of an emergency, you can always contact your elected officials because we see just how receptive your MAGA reps are to your needs.
Healthcare subsidies for millions of Americans are all but certain to expire at the end of this year after House Speaker Mike Johnson said yesterday there would be no vote on extending the Affordable Care Act tax credits this week. A last-ditch effort by moderate Republicans to put an extension on the floor for a vote failed last night after the House Rules Committee blocked several of the amendments they were hoping to attach to a Republican health care plan released last week. Instead, today, the House is set to consider a narrower GOP plan that would allow the subsidies to expire and introduces several small changes aimed at bringing down costs over the long term. But according to the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, the legislation could lead to 100,000 more Americans becoming uninsured by 2035.
They said you should take that money that you was using to pay insurance and go get you a Trump watch. You can get you a Trump watch. You might be able to get a Trump mobile plan with that money you was paying for your insurance. They said how much George Soros paying you to say that. Marxist. He called you Marxist. That's what they do. They've been doing that to us this whole time. I don't know why you'd be surprised. Who's making all that noise? Is that let them fight?
Trump told NBC News in a phone interview on Saturday it's not going to be easy for her to revive her career in politics, but then he adds, I'd love to see that. And then hours later, he referred to her as a lowlife in a Truth Social post.
Oh, you lucky. You lucky, Maga. You lucky. Because the only thing they like more than hurting y'all is hurting Mike Johnson.
All right, there's more breaking news we're following. Now at least 4 Republicans have joined in with a Democratic effort to force a vote on extending those soon-to-expire enhanced Obamacare subsidies. Let's go live to CNN's chief congressional correspondent, Manu Raju, who's up on Capitol Hill. This is a big rebuke of the House Speaker, Mike Johnson. What else can you tell us?
Let them fight! Let them fight!
Yeah, a major rebuke. Remember, this typically does not succeed in the House of Representatives to force a vote on an issue in which the leadership opposes. But this has happened time and time again to Speaker Mike Johnson, even though he is adamantly opposed to extending those expiring subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, something he says that simply should not happen because of his concerns with the current legislation. He's moving forward on a narrow health care package later today that does not extend those subsidies. But just moments ago, 4 Republicans in the House of Representatives signed on to a Democratic effort to force a bill to extend those subsidies for 3 years. Those 4 Republicans are from swing districts. 3 of them are from Pennsylvania.
Mike Johnson, you ain't see this coming? You ain't see this coming? What were your covenant eyes?
First I've heard of that. I don't know anything about it. I have not heard or looked into any of the details of that. I've been a little busy.
Where were your covenant eyes? Because I warned you. I've already done content about how they've been coming for you. You tried to call out Marjorie Taylor Greene when she described this whole entire scenario.
Practically, I yelled at Mike Johnson last week on our GOP conference call. By the way, I'm missing the call today. It's going on right now. And I hope that Mike Johnson is finally giving a single health care policy because the country deserves it, and it shouldn't be a secret. And I shouldn't have to go into a skiff to go find our Republican health insurance plan.
Maybe
Honestly,
there is no plan.
You know what? You want to know something? That, I believe, is the truth. There's a lot of ideas, there's a lot of bills, but there's no consensus.
Yeah.
And I think that's a failure. I do.
In fact, Nancy Mace wrote a whole op-ed about it. Yeah, yes, through tears. In between court appearances with that whole airport thing.
I don't get invited to parties. I don't have any friends. I have a dog.
I'm telling you, you should have. We talked about the gavel stripping. That might come from your side of the aisle. It be your own people. And speaking of your own people, did he say 3 of them from Pennsylvania? Huh. So I guess that Trump affordability push didn't really take now, did it?
Congressman Brian Fitzpatrick, a swing district Republican, one of just 3 Republicans who sit in districts that Kamala Harris won in 2024. Also, Mike Lawler of New York, another one of those Republicans in a swing district. And 2 other Pennsylvania Republicans, Bresnahan and Ryan Mackenzie, making it official that there are 218 votes on this signature.
Wait a minute. He said Mike Lawler. Is that blackface Mike Lawler? Blackface Mike Lawler showed up to wait. What complexion did he come when he opposed?
Hey yo, what the
Now, does credit for this opposition go to the Congressional Black Caucus? Do we get this one?
And this petition, which means that this bill will come to the floor probably in January, which will still be after those subsidies expire. It would still have to pass the United States Senate, but also this very significant rebuke of the Speaker of the House. I caught up with some of those members who are very frustrated at the opposition of the leader, of the Speaker, including Congressman Mike Lawler, who didn't mince words about the Speaker's handling of this issue.
So where does that leave you? I am pissed for the American people. This is absolute bullshit.
Oh, he went in his regular shit. Oh, hey. I wanted that one. If there was ever a day to show up in blackface, Mike Lawler.
Man, this some old bullshit.
And it's absurd that we are in a body with 435 members. Everybody has a responsibility to serve their district, to serve their constituents.
Now, to Mike Lawler's point about the responsibility to serve your constituents, those are issues that have been confronting the GOP this entire time. We had whole debates all during the passage of the big, beautiful bill talking about what was going to happen to your constituents while y'all decided to carry Donald Trump's water. So I reserve so much glad handing to those four Republicans for doing the basic necessities that coincide with the oaths of office that they took. It just stands in such stark contrast to the litany of those that aren't doing that. And mind you, makes them look all the worse, because this is one of the things I said when we were talking about people speaking out. I talked about this with regards to Marjorie Taylor Greene, about how she wasn't wrong in a lot of the things that she said, but in her deciding to separate herself from the pack, she makes herself a target. And that's why the pack attacks her, because they threaten their safety to be as shameless and spineless as they have been this entire time. So in that regard, this is phenomenal, because if you are one of those Republican members that has rode with Mike Johnson up to this point, and you have constituents that need these subsidies, how you look today?
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
That's a failure of leadership. I mean, we have, members on both sides who believe this is an urgent issue, and it is for all of our members in terms of what their constituents are going to have to deal with in the start of the new year. So what's wrong with having a vote?
And that last comment came from Congressman Kevin Kiley, who also represents a swing district in California. He has not yet signed on to the effort to force a vote, but you can expect him and others to likely vote yes when this measure comes to the floor in mid-January, meaning it could pass by more than a majority. We'll see how comfortable a majority it passes in the United States House.
You can expect him and others. See what happens when somebody speaks out. See what happens when somebody stands up to the bully. It becomes contagious. Well, good luck putting that back in the bottle, Trump. I mean, good luck with that, cause, ain't nothing but L's. Ain't nothing but you out here looking like the Washington Nationals right now. Just L's. I look at your whole schedule. That's how the whole fall and winter has gone.
But ultimately, Wolf, the question will be what the Senate will decide to do. This will pass the House probably in January, and then in the United States Senate, where they've already voted, the Republicans have already voted to block the Democratic effort to extend those subsidies for 3 years. Will it pressure any Republicans to change ranks? There are ongoing bipartisan negotiations to try to deal with this issue in the United States Senate, but no doubt about it, a sign of the growing angst and pressure from the rank and file, particularly swing district members, at this key moment for the Speaker ahead of the midterms next year.
Did somebody say Senate? Hey, hateful eight. Hateful eight. I need the hateful 8 Democrats. Hey, you see, but hey, y'all better handle that. Y'all better handle that, hateful eight.
To have you back. Let's talk about the government reopening. You were, of course, one of 8 Democrats in your caucus to vote to reopen the government in exchange for a vote on extending Obamacare subsidies. But here's what you told me last month, Senator, about taking that kind of a deal. Take a look.
Offering a vote in the Senate without a commitment that it would pass, without a commitment that the House would even take it up is an empty offer.
And yet, Senator, that's exactly what you voted for. So what changed in just 4 short weeks?
All right, Tim Kaine. I'm gonna give you some credit for the fact that it got to this point, but that is over the vocal objection of Mike. He tried to You know what I mean? You saw what he tried to do. Yeah, he tried to treat you like y'all, Virginia Tech be doing Michael Vick. Y'all don't have his name and put him in the highlight reel like it didn't even happen. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's exactly what they tried to do. You saw it, Tim Kaine. Now, as for you, Mike Johnson. No, hey, stop crying. It's cameras coming. No, you can't just walk away from them.
Yeah, I know. All right, guys, make a hole. Can you tell us about your conversation right now with Congressman Lawler? And it seems like you were engaged in a pretty animated conversation.
Oh, we just had some intense fellowship. It's all good. Look, we're working through very complex issues, as we do here all the time. It's good. Everybody's working towards ideas.
This man said some intense fellow. What church you go to? UFC? I ain't never seen intense fellowship. Boy.
I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors.
No, I ain't say nothing about the truck stop. I ain't say nothing about the truck stop.
Keeping the productive conversation going. That's what happens.
Have you lost control of the House?
I have not lost control.
Because this is the third time.
Look, we have the smallest majority in U.S. history. Okay? These are not normal times. There are processes and procedures in the House that are less frequently used when there are larger majorities. And when you have the luxury of having 10 or 15 people who disagree on something, you don't have to deal with it. But when you have a razor-thin margin, as we do, then all the procedures in the book are on the table.
I have not lost control. I have not lost control. We agreed through our intense fellowship that it was important for both of our happiness that she go out to enjoy an evening here and there, no questions asked. That's just what, hey, I have a razor thin instrument I'm dealing with. Okay. It's smallest in the history of this country is what I'm dealing with. Okay. Is what I'm working with. And, sometimes people disagree on whether or not that will suffice. And so I offer to everybody the opportunity to see what all is out there, because at the end of the day, we want to come to an agreement that everybody can be happy with. And, and quite frankly, I can't speak for anybody else, but this is a normal process when you have this razor thin margin. We got an update. The House GOP leadership have made the following change to the House floor schedule. Members are advised that floor votes are no longer expected in the House on Friday, December 19th. Last votes for the week are now expected at approximately 2 p.m. on Thursday. What? Mike Johnson, you gonna take the people's health care and run all the way home to Louisiana? Giving people an early vacation. I ain't seen you move like this since the last time the Jeffrey Epstein water got too hot. You ain't slick. You know we can see you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. This morning, Congressman Mike Lawler said that it was political malpractice to not allow a vote on the ACA subsidy extension this week. What's your reaction to that? And will Republicans suffer any political blowback for not allowing something like that to come to the floor with moderates?
Well, Mike Lawler is a very dear friend and a close colleague of mine. Ironically, weekend before last, I was in New York, in his district on Long Island, and we were campaigning together, ensuring that he gets reelected. Mike Lawler fights hard for New York, as every Republican in this conference does for their districts. The districts are different. They have different priorities and ideas, but there's about a dozen members in the conference that are in these swing districts who are fighting hard to make sure that they reduce costs for all of their constituents.
What you mean to tell me is that you just spent time with Mike Lawler in his district and his constituents? And what Mike Lawler have to say?
I am pissed for the American people. This is absolute bullshit, and it's absurd that we are in a body with 435 members. Everybody has a responsibility to serve their district, to serve their constituents. You know what's funny? 3/4 of people on Obamacare are in states Donald Trump won. So maybe, just maybe, everybody should look at this and say, how do we actually fix the healthcare system?
At no point did that whole time when you were in the district, that didn't come up at all. He was just holding that. He was just holding that on the inside. Because normally I would say, typically when you interact with people, that really softens this kind of feisty resolve that they might have towards you. But I guess not Mike Johnson. People get around Mike Johnson, they just get more mad.
Mike Johnson's my cousin. And if it makes you feel any better, my family thinks he's a little weasel too.
But heed what was said about the propensity of Trump voters that rely upon the Affordable Care Act. The kinds of things that they wouldn't have heard when they were ramming through the big, beautiful bill. And these are the kinds of things that need to be repeated loudly and often as the Senate figures out their way to try and hide their hand from the damage in their respective red states.
And many of them did want to vote on this Obamacare, COVID era subsidy the Democrats created. We looked for a way to try to allow for that pressure release valve, and it just was not to be. We worked on it all the way through the weekend, in fact, and in the end, there was not an agreement wasn't made. Now, everybody was at the table in good faith, and I certainly appreciate the views and the opinions of every member of this conference.
You mean like the good faith you showed with the excuses for not swearing in Rep. Grijalva? You mean like that kind of good faith? Or you mean like the good faith where you were calling the No Kings rally the Hate America rally? You mean like that kind of good faith? What is the quality of Mike Johnson's good faith at this particular point in time, huh? Ugh. That's got to be worse than the Grindr coverage at a conservative gathering. Just real sketchy.
You don't find that suspicious?
But I will tell you one thing they will all join in unity on is voting for this bill that we've been discussing this morning. Because again, instead of just trying to assist 7% of Americans, this is for 100% of Americans, and we can handle that and do that together. I hope that Democrats will come along with us. If they're serious about solving the problem and bringing down cost of health care, they'll all fully support it as well. But I think you're going to see they're playing politics with this.
What did he say? They playing politics? He's saying they playing politics with this? They just not that into you, Mike Johnson. Honestly, they just not that into you. Last time we were here, we said you had women troubles, but it's jumped the gender gap at this particular point in time. Yeah, it has jumped the gender divide. You were talking about what, 7% of Americans? We're now at 100%. We're now at a full 100% of Americans don't rock with you at this particular. Hey, you know what? Mike Lawler.
This is absolute bullshit.
He said that's not really how you feel. He said they caught you in a moment of anger. That that's not really how. Call the news.
House Republican leadership will not allow a vote. It is idiotic and shameful. This place is disgraceful. Everybody wants the upper hand. Everybody wants the political advantage. They don't actually want to do the damn work.
That was Republican Congressman Mike Lawler on the House floor yesterday, but he wasn't finished there. Politico reports the New York lawmaker also left a closed-door House GOP meeting, calling the entire situation, quote, absolute BS.
Mike Johnson, I told you, man. It's over. It's over. Hey, No, all is not lost. All is not lost. Okay. Because we got that whole bingo about who are the next Republicans was going to leave. Remember the whole bingo? You could put chips on yourself. I didn't see a rule that said you can't put chips. You could put chips on yourself, and that can make sure you get a golden parachute, and then you could go spend that money on all the burner phones you want. Huh?
He's right, you know.
Don't ever say I never gave you nothing. You know, you got it. Hey, and believe me, even when they pack you up, the GOP and Maga still gonna be at let them fight.
But what government cannot do is force private entities to take actions that the government cannot take directly. Government officials threatening adverse consequences for disfavored content is an unconstitutional coercion that chills protected speech.
Brendan Carr, you out here getting dunked on by Ted Cruz. And yes, I've seen what it looks like when he play basketball. That's particularly ugly. And in fact, that's the kind of content you can't even approve through your FCC. That's how disgusting it is when he play basketball, but he dunked on you though. You know? I don't know where all the gangster swagger went. I guess that was just for the keyboard. I guess that was just for the keyboard. But MAGA, I can tell you this. You are very fortunate that your party is this dysfunctional. Now, it being this dysfunctional and this fractured and this unstable are all reasons why you never should have, you know what I mean? You never should have been here holding your MAGA hat with the Trump Snuggie, hoping that that's going to be suitable health care through 2028. You never should have been in that. You should have known better. But you are lucky that America is addicted to drama. And boy, they hate them some Mike Johnson. I tell you that might be the thing that brings America together. That might be the thing that brings America. Maybe Make America Great Again was all about hating Mike Johnson.
Everybody from around the world to come here, including hardened criminals,
Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I am truly happy you're here. I would never do you like Target.
I'm so excited to show you what I got in my Target grab bag this year. I waited all night so I could get this. Okay, so the first thing I got was, they hate you.
So I made sure I pushed out those merch discount codes for the peoplesgetup.com and reesewaters.com to all the people in deep waters and troubled waters. That also goes for the people that are a part of our Patreon. Oh, that's right. We also have a Patreon. All of the benefits listed mirror those here on membership on YouTube, in addition to the weekly newsletter. Let's see what we got here. Trump's protective bubble may be popping. That's not the only thing popping. This Let 'em Fight banquet about to be lit. I can tell you that right now. If you want to get the weekly newsletter, you can sign up for it at patreon.com/ReeseWaters. And if you want to sign up for the monthly newsletter, that's over at reesewaters.com. Now, we are in end of year award season, and I want to hear from you. So be on the lookout on the community tab, as well as my lives, for polls that will help me weed through the nomination process. And I would say 2025 has been the year of FAFO, has it not? I would say so, which makes this particularly appropriate. Hello, my FAFO shirt just arrived and I had to get some pics. Also, my daughter wanted to show off her Labubu because her MAGA mom forbids them for being demonic. So, of course, daddy got her one. LOL. I hope you're having a great week, from my man, Jared. Now, Jared, shout out to you. I love the FAFO gear as well as the Labubu, but YouTube doesn't love showing kids. They definitely don't love showing kids. And I would also say that you said her MAGA mom. You know how litigious they be. Hey, tell your daughter I said respect. Much love. Speaking of respect and love, the last time I was here, I highlighted someone who asked me if they had to be a member to purchase merch and lamenting they wished that they could do more. Well, guess what I received immediately after that? Hi, Reese. I would like to help the 66-year-old lady who wanted merch but thought she needed to be a member. I'd like to buy her the item she wanted. Is this possible? I can be anonymous and don't need to know her address. Thank you for being a bright spot in these dark, dark days. I'm a subscriber and I watch all of your videos. Now, I won't include the name because that person did say that they could be kept anonymous. But what I will say is, just as I said the first time, that it's that kind of love that is so much more significant than any financial contribution might be. Here is another example of that, and is the connectiveness and the strength of the bond in this community that has truly transformed not only my life, but what I even thought was possible in this particular space. So I want to thank you, and I would like to offer you both the item of your choice. I'll be reaching out to both of you in the nature of paying it forward. Maybe we can start a whole pay forward chain, and then everybody pays for the next. That would get messy because I'm cheap, so I can only imagine how cheap some of the people who follow me be. That's going to be a whole mess. Y'all know who you are.